Greetings, everyone. Core here. It's time for another midnight review. And I think I'm getting the hang of saying that correctly without stumbling, but nonetheless, I went to go see War of the Planet of the Apes, and I've actually liked this series pretty well. From the first one of the Rise of the Planet of the Apes, I think that one was really well done, and it transitioned very well into the sequel, which was Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, which was really neat to see them, the apes uh, striving and surviving, and what happened to the humans from the viruses and everything like that. So it's really cool to see that. And this one is pretty much a continuation of that. Of course, it's supposed to be, I believe it was 8 years from the original first movie, and 2 years from Dawn, if I remember correctly, but I could be wrong. Nonetheless, it's about 8 years after the original outbreak, so things have changed, and there's this militia group that's trying to hunt down Caesar's group, and hopefully, they're. I'm pretty sure that what their, motive is. If you kill the apes, then the virus should go away, right? But I mean, everyone's carrying it, so it's pretty interesting to see this story of Caesar and his family and all the surviving apes. Excuse me, and there's a lot of action. At least at the start, there's some really good action. It's really intense, and the music, really amplifies a lot of the scenes to make you feel more dread, more suspense, more mystery, just more. It does its job. It gets you more uh, involved, more. It makes it more deeper. It makes it more impactful. It's really impressive what they did, and it's. I think the number one, of course, impressive thing is the motion capture computer graphics for the apes, because all these are well, guys and a couple girls uh, in mocap suits, just you know acting with their bodies. Of course, they do have facial recognition and stuff like that to project their face and how they speak and stuff onto the ape that they're playing. But nonetheless, all their acting pretty much comes from their motions, from their body language, from everything that they do. And at the start you kind of forget, it's like, yeah, these are actual people. These aren't just you know they're not real. you know it's actually people acting this way and making you believe that you know these apes can really act like humans, I guess, in a way, which is funny. But once again, Andy Serkis is back. He is Caesar, and I believe he plays another background guys here and there. But man, he's just, for what he does, it is. I mean, he in terms of acting, body wise, and motion and stuff, he's the best. No one could beat him. Um, Even in motion and everything like that, it's the way he talks and the way he acts on that. It's really impressive what he does. It's almost a shame that he kind of. I mean, it's not so much he doesn't quite get categorized. He doesn't get stereotyped into this mocap because he has done live action stuff before, especially with the Avengers and Black Panther movie coming up. He should be the main villain, and that should help bring him out into more non-mocap acting. But of course, he's still gonna do it because I mean he's just so great at it. It seems pretty hard to not think of him when you think mocap. Um, but yeah, so he does a really good job. Woody Harrelson is this arch nemesis in this movie, and it is really he's he's not used over too much. He's used pretty well. It's a little sparse, but it actually shows the distance and how much Caesar has to get through just to get to him, and I think that's pretty good. I mean, I think it's pretty impressive that the way that they have it. Yeah, it's like you see the bad guy pretty early on, but then it's like you don't see him again till the last third. So it's interesting how they went with that, and it works out pretty well, I think. There's a little girl that comes into, if you've seen the trailers, she kind of gets picked up by Caesar and his group, and it's pretty good. It's her scene that she gets introduced is a really good scene. The orangutan, which is like one of the main guys besides Caesar, that helps him out a lot. He usually doesn't talk; he does the same language a lot. But I can't think of it. Maurice, I believe. Yeah. He he's I think he steals the show, just because his compassion really shows, and he tries to help Caesar, and he helps this little girl because it's almost the same situation that Caesar's going through, and it's interesting to see the parallels, and what the things that Caesar's fighting. He's a drawn out character. I mean, you've had 3 movies now with him, and you get to see him grow from just an ordinary chimpanzee to thinking and even speaking, and then also strategizing, and just very advanced things that we only, as humans, we only think that we can do. But yeah, technically we could, but there's a certain degree that certain species could do as well. So it's interesting to see, another species pretty much act and think the same way as a human, if not more strategic or more, compassionate in a way, because they still have a lot of animal values where, they always, like they say, Apes Strong, together, and it shows, how, the things that Caesar says and what kind of keeps them together. Apes don't kill apes, just different things like that, and it's interesting how those roles kind of get, they waver a little bit. So it's a really good movie. Like I said, it's a little. I'll try not to spoil. It's such a good movie. I want people to see it. I hope it does really well on the weekend. It's definitely, if you've seen the first 2, definitely see it for sure. I actually found something funny, that there's actually only 3 songs listed in the credits, and that's pretty interesting because it felt like there was more. Granted, of course, they're probably only categorizing songs like a full length, 3 or 4 minute piece, where a lot of this music and stuff in the background, it's very subtle. If anything, you don't hear some, there's quite a few quiet moments. It's not like your average movie where there's a lot of noise and stuff going on. There's some really intense quiet moments, and it's such a nice, refreshing movie to see, after seeing Spider-Man, where it's loud, it's bright, you know Wonder Woman, just everything else. I mean, it is nice to have a reset, and I think it does that. It gives you something different that no movie's really doing right now. Of course, there are some story plots and everything like that that they draw from other movies, and of course, but everything's done like that before. But just the fact that you're not following really a person, you're following an ape, super smart ape, and yet he has more compassion, more mercy than a person is having, and that's really, I don't know. It just makes me think. It's beginning to me right now. It's making me think a little too much about it, but I don't know. What do you guys think? But yeah, so far, oh man, I'm halfway through this busy season. I believe I have movies up until August I will be seeing, and next week I believe is, sorry, trying to find it real quick. I believe next week is Atomic Blonde. Is it Atomic Blonde? Oh man, I should really. My tweets. I always tweet. I mean, I try to pin them, but apparently I did not pin them this month. Um, but yeah, so Dunkirk. Next week's gonna be interesting because Dunkirk comes out as well as Valoran in the City of a Thousand Planets. I'm probably definitely gonna see Dunkirk. Valoran, I want to see it in 3D, but man, I don't know. It's gonna be. Luckily, Dunkirk's pretty short, so probably gonna have a double upload next Thursday. So so the review will probably go out a little bit later, just because I'm gonna watch them, back to back. But till then, guys, later.